Well, if you haven't met me, my name is Thurgood Marshall. I was born on July 2nd, 1908. My hometown is Baltimore, Maryland. I was the first black member of the Supreme Court. I graduated from law school in 1933, and this eventually led to me joining the Supreme Court. But of course, I had to do a lot of things before and after handling that position. Originally, for a fun fact, my name is Thurgood. But in the second grade, I got tired of spelling out such a long name on paper, so I shortened it down to Thurgood. I had attended my school, Lincoln University, after having applied to become a dentist, but later instead chose to become a lawyer. While attending Lincoln University, I enjoyed pulling pranks on everyone, and even got into some big trouble with some faculty members of the school that led to 2 suspensions. Luckily, I didn't get expelled. Also at that time, I met the girl who would later in time be my wife, Vivian Murray. Vivian Murray and I both later married when we were still in school. After I made my decision to become a lawyer, I had wanted to attend the University of Maryland Law. However, unfortunately, segregation laws prohibited this, and instead I had to attend the University of Howard for law. After lots of hard work at Howard University, I finally graduated from it in 1933. Immediately following my graduation, I began to work, practicing privately in Baltimore. In 1934, I represented the NAACP, or the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. I represented it because this is a case against an African-American boy who was denied entrance to the University of Maryland Law. However, the boy won this case, and it was only one out of the many that would challenge and lead to the end of racial segregation. Following this, I quickly became the NAACP's chief of counsel. At the age of 34, I won the landmark case, Chambers v. Florida, and in this case, I established that police coercion did not result in useful confessions. A while after this, precisely in 1954, something big happened. I won the case of Brown versus the Board of Education in Topeka, which is a civil rights case that ended segregation laws in schools. Sadness struck me in 1955 when my wife, Vivian Murray, passed away due to an unfortunate cancer that occurred. However, I did later remarry to a woman named Cecilia Suyat, and we had 2 children, Thurgood Marshall Jr. and John Marshall. The president at the time, John F. Kennedy, appointed me as circuit judge in 1961. And a little bit after this, I made a friend who was the director of the FBI, and I encouraged the idea of a collaboration between the NAACP and FBI. A while after this, precisely in 1965, I became the first black U.S. Solicitor General, and this was because I had won 14 of the 19 cases I had against the nation. 2 years later, it finally happened. President Lyndon B. Johnson nominated me for the Supreme Court, and of the nominations, he said, the right thing to do, the right time to do it, and the right place and man to do it. Then I started to work in the Supreme Court. After lots of hard work in the Supreme Court, I finally decided to retire in 1991. 2 years after my retirement, on January 24th, 1993, I passed away due to an unfortunate heart failure that occurred. I inspired many people back then, and still do today. The highest U.S. honor medal, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, was named and based off of what I did. Anyways, my time is about up here, so I hope you were inspired too. Court is adjourned.